Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. Here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
How about Xavier freaking Woods? Despite Raw's low rating, despite the low numbers, week in, week out for Raw, Xavier Woods continues to be the real MVP when it comes to Raw. The trombone bit has been amazing, and what a better there's not a better way to open This Is Awesome Wrestling Show this week than having Rusev's theme played by Xavier Woods.
He got a tromboner, if you will.
Oh my goodness! And can you say that Summer Rae
played his tromboner.
Just continues to gold. Glenn Moore here, Steve Guy, sitting on in the studio, not really recliner, but the nice big leather sofa we have here in studio. Steve, Xavier Woods, what can we say before we get into the major news? But
here's what we could say. I tweeted this out from our show Twitter at TIA Wrestling.
Correct. Thank you for remembering our
You're welcome.
Twitter.
Help us out. I tweeted out, it would be great to have Xavier Woods record a trombone original for This Is Awesome Wrestling Show.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So if you're listening to our show, help us out. Tweet at Xavier Woods, at Xavier Woods PhD, I should say. Hashtag TIAWS theme.
That would be amazing if we could get Xavier Woods to do our theme.
Do it. Tweet at him. Like I said, at Xavier Woods PhD, hashtag TIAWS theme.
But do our hashtag campaigns really work?
I don't know. We need this one.
Has John Thorne gotten famous yet?
Hashtag get John Thorne famous.
I mean, he is number one on YouTube in his wrestling channel, AIW's channel. But I mean, it'd be nice to get Xavier to do that, but I highly doubt that.
I had an offer for bottle service this past weekend at one of the new club venues here in downtown Cleveland.
Boy, which one was it?
And
don't give it. We need sponsors.
No, I won't give it out. And,
is it the one with the pool in it?
Could be.
It is. Okay.
And I thought about it, and I didn't, because I had to work the next day. I had to work on Saturday, and it was on Friday, and I didn't invite John Thorne. I should have. Should have just done it.
Yeah.
Let John feel famous.
You could have invited me too, but
Well, I didn't invite anybody, so don't feel bad.
All right. That's fair enough.
Not even hot chicks.
Anyway, before we get off track here, 3 minutes into the show, plenty of news to talk about this week. Night of Champions on Sunday. We have the lowest rated Raw, and since they've gone to 3 hours.
How does that happen coming out of a quote-unquote pay-per-view?
Because the product is bad. Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Sting. I don't know. Funny thing is, Sting gets hurt, legit, and on Monday Night Raw, they pubbed out.
Got a stinger.
He was supposed to come out and be the, start the Raw off.
Yeah.
And then they did not mention Sting at once at all the whole night. News is that Sting went home. It's not broken. His neck is not broken, but his career is still up in the air. But they didn't recognize Sting at all during Raw. But still, I mean, kudos to Sting. He took that power bomb into the corner, and he collapsed.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. Watching him come off the rope and collapse like that.
Yeah, and then they tried to do, off the ropes. Rollins called for a spot. You can hear him call for, change the spot. And when Sting ducked the lariat, he just collapsed. And then the guys came in the ring, and you can just tell that it wasn't part of the match.
Something wasn't right. Yeah.
And kudos to Sting for finishing the match. For going through with the roll up, with a death lock, and then getting rolled up. And I think that was the original finish too. And then he walked immediately backstage, and who knows what's going to happen to Sting now? But kudos to Sting, who's a veteran, a guy that knows the importance of a match to finish no matter what.
Yeah, but
and putting his body on the line to do it.
Is that smart at his age, at this point? I mean, I know we say that kudos. We say this in sports even all the time too. When a guy really gets injured, and everybody's like, "Oh, kudos to him for going out there and doing it." But should we be saying that? especially Sting. Here's a guy 50-plus years old. He doesn't need to be doing that. He doesn't need to prove to us that he can do it. It was a good match. And I mean, it's not like that deathlock he put on him was great. You really knew. Okay, obviously you knew when he collapsed, but watching him do that deathlock, it was like, all right, something's really wrong here.
Well, you knew before
he's
that,
not. Yeah, and then he puts that in. And it's like he wasn't able to sit back on it. Nothing.
Well, I feel like his deathlock at the pay-per-view was better than the deathlock he did on Raw the previous week, where he had to kind of hold back and he was almost falling out of the deathlock. But I feel like he was even better. But yeah, he was you knew he was in bad shape, and you knew something was legit wrong with Sting when all that was going down.
Do you think he needed to take the bumps that he did in that match?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's a wrestler. I mean, he's the main eventing a pay-per-view.
He didn't take those bumps against Triple H.
It's true. It's a good point. He looked in better shape this time around.
I mean,
did he wrestle with a T-shirt at WrestleMania?
He ended up taking it off. I think.
And then he wrestled on Raw with the T-shirt on.
Yeah, that's probably more for publicity.
Then he had the T-shirt off for the pay-per-view. He looked in decent shape.
Yeah,
he looked like decent.
He did.
I mean, there are guys way older than him that move well in the ring and still wrestle past 50.
Yeah,
so I'm sure there wasn't. I'm sure they did their due diligence, prepping for the match and seeing if he can go. But the question is, Steve, and we're going to talk about this and let us know what you think. Is Seth Rollins a liability in the ring? Not let alone the ring.
This guy is a mess.
But a liability for WWE.
He is a mess. So they need to get rid of Seth Rollins right now. He should be stripped of the championship.
He's
breaking Sting in half.
Right.
Good God Almighty.
You got dick pics all over social media.
Totally uncalled for in a G-rated show.
His girlfriend gets fired for
being a Nazi
propaganda.
Oh, by the way, a girl that he traded naked pictures with after he was already engaged to somebody else.
He breaks John Cena's nose.
Breaks his nose in the match. That's just wild and reckless.
And then almost breaks Sting's neck.
And you've already eliminated one of his moves in the curb stomp. So you got rid of one of his moves already with the curb stomp, and now he can't do this turnbuckle powerbomb anymore either, obviously, because he's injuring people with it.
What kind of year has he had?
I can't believe he's still jumping off the top rope, getting a knee to the side of the head.
Yeah.
How is that any less worse than, putting a guy's head into the mat with your foot?
Thing is, too, that he still did the turnbuckle powerbomb the scene last night, too.
Yep, immediately right after.
Yeah.
We all knew that's how Sting got hurt, and you're going to do it to John Cena.
Yeah.
What is that showing us? Like, oh, no, see, it wasn't the move.
He was trying to kill Cena. He's trying to kill him with breaking his
fairness,
nose.
That could have just been...
It's a freak thing.
I guess... Now, this is a great adage, but the nail in the coffin, so to speak.
Oh.
Because, there were a lot of bumps that Sting took in that match.
Come on.
It could just be getting bad, and then just one more thing. Going through the table probably didn't help.
So you're saying Seth Rollins is a master of just
coming off that top rope, probably not necessary, didn't help.
I mean, Sting's trying to go all out, man. I give kudos to Sting for doing it.
You watched that thinking it was going to be his last match.
No.
With all those moves.
Taker versus Sting.
Not happening now.
Half an hour match.
Maybe
Let's
at the retirement home in the Legends house when they argue over the last beer in the fridge. But it ain't happening at WrestleMania anymore.
Yeah, so Sting, get well soon and see what happens with him. But yeah, Seth Rollins, man. Seth Rollins has been the dude to stay away from if you're in the ring. No, we love Seth Rollins. He's a guest on the show. One of our highest rated podcasts. You guys can...
He's as heel as a heel could be.
You can listen to the podcast with Seth Rollins on our show on iTunes. Just search This Is Awesome Wrestling Show on iTunes and listen to Seth Rollins on the show.
Why are ratings down? Because Seth Rollins is injuring everyone.
Ratings are down because there's not enough Xavier Woods. That's why.
Probably not.
Xavier Woods, I can't get over.
The whole New Day.
There's only Xavier Woods can get away with
Big
a woman playing the trombone.
Throwing poo?
Yeah, throwing...
At the Dudleys?
Not many people caught that on social media. I'm like, did he just crap in his hand and throw it at Devon? And not many people caught that. It was excellent.
It's good.
Just
was that Bubba? I think it was at Bubba.
Yeah, it was Bubba.
Yeah.
But it's terrific. Terrific stuff. That's probably the best segment. another good segment on Raw, and this is where our debate's going to come in. Oh, can we say our guest for this week? We're 10 minutes in. We need to say our guest.
Oh, man, he's going to be so pissed.
He's going to be pissed. A man that many people know throughout professional wrestling, the indie scene around the country, PWG, Ring of Honor,
Chikara.
CZW, yes, Chikara, a man trained by Chris Hero and Mike Quackenbush. The Eddie Kingston joins us this week, an interview with him, and a great conversation with a man that has no filter, doesn't know when to shut up, and a guy that we love having on, we'd love to have on again. But a great conversation with Eddie Kingston about his career, wrestling in Cleveland, just some of the stories he's had growing up and in the professional wrestling scene.
And we tail off and just gets fun and interesting. Here's a little background on Eddie Kingston with This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. We have talked to Eddie and known Eddie at this point for the better part of a year, going to AIW shows and just talking to him the entire time. I feel like every time we're there, we basically have an interview with Eddie, and we've never really recorded it. This week we do. This week we play it for you.
Yeah, so these are guests this week. We'll get to him very, very shortly. But Eddie Kingston joins us here. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. If you're looking for some wrestling, early October, AIW has a Saturday double header.
A twofer.
We have Girls Night Out and, what was it, Fresh Meat?
Fresh Meat.
Which the AIW trainees are wrestling guys who are staples in AIW. And our guest this week, Eddie Kingston, who actually cuts a promo on his opponent for Fresh Meat.
AIW favorite.
Mr. Frankie Flynn. That's who Kingston's wrestling. Check out AIWrestling.com for more information. If you guys are out there, say hello and come on out and support indie wrestling here in Cleveland. But it's worth the trip if you live in PA or West Virginia or even Canada. It's worth the trip to come out and watch some great wrestling. And then there is a show 2 weeks from that weekend, October 16th. They have a show coming up as well. So AIWrestling.com is the site, and we'll have Thorne in this month to talk about everything he has going on for AIW and also just professional wrestling in general. So Eddie Kingston will join us here shortly. And moving on, transitioning, Mr. Guy, to a man that loves to talk and not be quiet and drop pipe bombs all over. Let's go to one of our favorite divas, Paige, dropping her own pipe bomb.
Oh, you're saying that
yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, you were a big fan of it.
I loved it.
You loved the Paige pipe bomb.
I thought it was very, very nicely
the Paige
done.
Bomb.
I think it was very. You knew she was turning heel. We knew that, but what she said is what everybody is thinking. What everybody knows. How we feel. We've been talking about the Divas Revolution for 2 months. How it's been lackluster. How it's been booked wrong. How it's just maybe a fad for now, and you're going to have the Bellas be back on top just because they're sleeping with John Cena and Daniel Bryan. It's the way. It's what Paige said everything that we've been talking about, and for them to do it on live TV, I thought was very good.
Here's what's wrong with it, and how they did it. It was unclear if Paige was doing this as coming out of jealousy for Charlotte winning the title and not her being on Team PCB, or was it out of personal frustration that's boiled over with how the quote-unquote system works. And I don't think that was made clear or clear enough at all. And especially it's different because CM Punk talking about John Cena, everybody can't stand John Cena for a variety of reasons. Charlotte, there's no arguing that Charlotte is probably the most fantastic and tremendous female talent on the roster. Okay. In terms of performance in the ring.
Okay.
And what she can do. So to cut that promo then when Charlotte wins it, and yeah, I get that her dad is Ric Flair, but that's a pretty phenomenal pedigree.
Yeah, but there's a lot of pedigrees that haven't worked out.
Right, but she has shown it. So to cut that promo when somebody who has shown why they belong and has shown that they are better than everybody else,
I don't think it was a promo cut on Charlotte. I think it was more of a promo that she was speaking what everybody has been thinking.
And that's what I'm saying. It was unclear.
I think you're thinking way too much about. You're overthinking about the whole angle. The idea was to turn Paige heel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But is she heel just because she's jealous because she didn't win?
Doesn't she's heel because of what the whole revolution. Well, I don't want to call it revolution. It's not. This whole storyline has become. I think it was this frustration. It come off to me as a frustration towards, okay, everybody's being held down, and you're going to have the Bellas. She didn't come out and say that they can't wrestle,
right.
But they shouldn't be in the same ring as her, and Paige and Becky Lynch and Sasha. And there's just been lackluster. It's just been blah, which has been. And Becky Lynch, who is very talented, she is the most irrelevant person in this whole revolution. She hasn't wrestled that much. She's just been a cheerleader.
Right. She gets thrown out there on SmackDown. But
even Sasha, she's been held back. She's mixed in with two girls that Tamina, who can wrestle, but she's not the ideal diva-looking girl, so nobody really cares. And then Naomi, who she can't wrestle. She's terrible.
Yeah.
So you stick team. The way they did it was bad because you have three teams of three. Just too many girls.
The team idea was terrible.
And then Natty, which is hilarious. Like, do you even work here anymore? I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was perfect the way it was done. Paige is not the best on the mic. The crowd was shit because the crowd was very shitty last night. You're in bottom armpit of Texas. Kudos to our listeners in Laredo. But the crowd was terrible. I thought if that pipe bomb was like in Chicago or New York or somewhere where it's wrestling centric, it would have came a lot better because if you're performing in the ring, and I know you're supposed to even perform, but when you're fueled by the fans and they're reacting, you get a little more into it. The fans weren't reacting at all to anything that she was saying. So with Paige, who isn't really that good on the mic anyway, it could have been a little bit discouraging. It could have been maybe handled a little bit better, but I thought it was the way it was done, where it was done, how it was done. I thought it was perfect. And when she walked back to the side and not through the curtain, because quote unquote you don't walk past McMahon,
right,
for delivering a pipe bomb, quote unquote. I thought it was well done, and I thought Paige came off very well. And I think the real MVP is that push-up Raw.
That's true. It was smart of them to mention Natty in that for the slight amount of kayfabe that we still try to hang on to in WWE, despite the fact that we have Total Divas. Because otherwise, if you're going to go the kayfabe route, you got to mention her. But otherwise, we all know why Natty has been gone, and it's a really unfortunate reason, of course. She's been hanging out, taking care of a Tyson kid.
Right.
But that was also a little, kind of a cop-out to foreshadow Natty coming back last night as well.
Right.
And then poor Natty taking an ass to the face and losing that way. Can we get rid of that move?
It was terrible. It's just been crap. I really lost interest in this whole Divas Revolution. I've lost interest since Stephanie has been like the head of it when she
and
really
I think
has no
that's
part
my
in it.
biggest problem too, is that Stephanie created this whole quote-unquote Divas Revolution with the mindset that, oh, Paige, you're going to need help. I'm bringing you help. Well, now we're going to make Paige turn on the whole idea. I'm lost. Paige's beef shouldn't be with the girls. I'd love to see Paige call out Stephanie.
I would.
We've seen Steph Tangle before.
That's not going to happen. It's only going to be for Rousey.
I don't see why not. You really want to spice it up? Stephanie, you want to be involved in the revolution?
She's not going to wrestle it.
Be like your old man.
She's not going to be in the ring just for Paige. It has to be for a big main event.
I would enjoy it.
Well, of course, but you got to be realistic. I mean, this just basically sets up Charlotte versus Paige. I'm all for it. I don't mind seeing that as a main event.
That'll be a good match.
It'll be one of the best of the year, I think. Two great wrestlers. Paige is one of the best, and so is Charlotte. Why wouldn't it be one of the best?
Yeah, because I'm still partial to Sasha.
Of course you are, but she's engaged.
She is.
You got to get over it. She's gone.
To your point of not showcasing her, she is easily the best Divas personality. I think we can agree.
Yeah, her character is great. Yeah.
Character-wise, yeah, absolutely. And they're really dropping the ball on not putting her out there more. Even those a couple nights where she couldn't wrestle. Maybe she was recovering. She got a little banged up or whatever. Why don't you at least give her some sort of camera time?
Because there's just too many divas. There's not enough time.
I guess.
You got 2 segments already going to Divas, which is one more than they usually do.
Well,
plus some backstage stuff. So I mean, they're giving Divas a lot more time. It's just there's too many girls to give it to. So
they're just doing it incorrectly.
Well, yeah,
which is the story of WWE in itself.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for months.
We need to give Raw more time. Let's give it a whole extra hour.
Yeah,
and it's just an extra hour of crap.
All right, let's go to our interview with Eddie Kingston. We'll come back, talk more about Night of Champions, about Raw. Kevin Owens, a new IC champion. Love it. His first major title in WWE, not in NXT. But let's go to Eddie Kingston, a man well known in the indie scene, especially here in Cleveland. So here's our interview, courtesy of AIW, with Eddie Kingston here on This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. This is Awesome Wrestling Show here on CLEsound.com. Our guest this week is a man that is well known in AIW here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
A man well known around the country, around the world. Mr. Eddie Kingston joining us.
What's up? What's up? What's going on? Let's do this.
Sir.
We've been trying to get you for a few months. We've been out here at AIW. We wanted to talk to you. You're a pretty open guy. You're probably one of the most open
loudest.
guy.
Does that mean loud?
There we go.
Yeah, I'm not
guy.
sure if that's where he was.
I think
he was trying to be
means
subtle.
loud to
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
take it.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I mean,
You
we
know,
always
you guys.
we always talk to you every time you're here.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just haven't officially sat down.
Well, here we go.
So this is exciting.
That's right. Let's do this.
You're well known, various promotions.
Yeah. Hustling.
AIW though, you seem to be a staple here. What is it about
Thank God.
coming to AIW that excites you and makes you want to come back?
I like as weird as this sounds, I like the locker room. I like the crowd. I like performing here. It's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
And the money's not bad either. So still trying to make a living off this. Still doing it. Scraping by, you know what I mean? Being independent.
You're kind of like the elder statesman, so to speak, here in the locker room.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But in a good way, in the sense that, like anybody who, and a lot of people obviously don't have the opportunity to be down here with you guys, but as we sit here month in and month out and watch you, and the younger guys, it doesn't matter. You just sit here 10 minutes ago helping guys go over spots for matches.
Yeah.
Have you just...
Those guys are idiots for listening to me. And you'll know, if you buy this at smartmarkvideo.com, shill, or smvod.com, you'll know which match I helped out with, because it'll be bad. And I'll get a kick out of it.
But you're always willing to lend a helping hand, give out your opinion, whatever the case may be, help guys out with spots. Is that, were you asked to do it a couple times by people that just sought you out, or are you like, you know what, I'm so brash, nobody's really going to ask me, but I feel like I can help them.
No, you gotta ask me, because I'm not gonna just give it out. You're not gonna give the game out without people, asking you. And for some reason, guys think I know shit and ask me, and I give them my honest opinion. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. A lot of guys don't ask me what I thought of their match afterwards, because maybe I'm a little too honest, a little too rough on it.
Yeah.
I'll tell them, this is... I won't sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say, this was... I'm going to be like, that really sucked.
It may go back to...
that made no sense.
They go back to you being the loudest, right? The loudest guy in the room always seems like he's going to be the smartest.
Yeah.
Let's ask that guy.
That's actually, he looks like he knows what he's talking about. That's how you trick him.
Like I said, you've been in various promotions, well-known promotions, CZW, Chikara, Ring of Honor. Why that?
It's Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
They just,
But you're 33 years old.
Oh!
You're up there.
Yeah, 13 years doing this.
Yeah,
yep.
13. Trained by Chris Hero.
And Mike Quackenbush, don't forget that.
How was
and Skida. Yeah.
What made you get into professional wrestling? It's always an interesting story hearing people say.
I was a hyper kid, surprise. And the only way my mother could calm me down, especially on the weekends when I didn't have school or anything, was she would buy wrestling tapes from Video Visions in the Bronx. And I got lucky because my mother didn't know the difference between WWF and everything else.
Yeah.
So whatever wrestling tape was out there,
Oh, God.
she grabbed it at the store and put it in. One time she got me a Memphis tape. I forgot what it was. But there was blood everywhere.
Yeah.
There was Eddie Gilbert. There was Jerry Lawler. Bruiser Brody, I think. And then just blood everywhere. And my mother's like, what did I? But that was the only way I would shut up.
Yeah.
And sit down for like 3-4 hours and not drive her up a wall
Yeah.
in a little small apartment in University Avenue in the Bronx.
So when you turned 20 years old, you decided to go to school, and what made you?
Oh, I was
Yeah, you're 20. You're 33, 13 years.
19, 20,
20,
around
yeah.
there. I was ironworking for Local 580 in the city, New York. And I just sat there, looked around, said, there got to be something more.
Yeah.
And I always loved wrestling and went on the computer, typed in wrestling schools near New York. A couple places were shut down. A couple places I was told not to go to. Found a place in Jersey. Got kicked out of there. Was a big fan of Mike Quackenbush and Reckless Youth, so they had a school. Me and my old tag partner started driving up there with Jigsaw. So,
And
who
you're
never gave gas money. He knows it's true. He knows it's true. It's been a 13-year joke. He still hasn't gotten it yet.
Is it a joke? It doesn't sound like it, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little, behind the joke, there's always a little bit of truth.
Oh, always.
So, him not giving gas money. Ha, ha, ha. But they don't have money for Taco Bell on the way home. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know how it works.
You're predominantly, at least when we see you, such a heel. Is that something that came naturally?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Is that just...
I'm a legit, I don't want to say asshole because I actually changed over the years. But as a teenager and then in my 20s, I was just a real, piece of shit kind of guy.
Is that a part of being from the Bronx?
No, it could be. It could be your
Yeah.
environment, how it shapes you. But I don't like to use that excuse because anybody can get out of any situation if they really want to.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just kind of took what I was when I was a kid. And Freddy Krueger's trying to cut my throat. And not the first time, Fred. And I just took what I was as a teenager and as in my early 20s and just turned it up 1,000 notches and put it in the ring. And people seem to hate me, and it's funny to me. Funny to me when guys on Twitter, by the way, don't tag me in the Twitter post, but just type
we got
my
you.
name.
We got you.
But I love vanity searching my name. No one else will, so
Yeah.
I'll do it. And I retweet the hate because, A, it motivates me, and B, it's kind of a compliment.
Yeah.
I
It
think
is.
it's more of a compliment than positive stuff.
If you got nothing, no response, then you have
Yeah,
to worry.
then I'll be in trouble. But
Yeah.
for the guy to say, I really hate Eddie Kingston, so you took time out of your day to, A, think about me, brother,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And then, B, tweet about it.
Yeah.
So you took time out of your day. Hey, thank you. Retweet. And then there's some guys I'll troll back because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of off I'm on Twitter, but I'm kind of off just putting stuff up. Like I'll retweet and promote stuff for
Yeah.
upcoming shows. But after a couple things I've seen lately, like I went on a rant. I just don't get just not to get back on the rant. I don't get society nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't get how a guy can hide behind a keyboard or hide
Oh, yeah.
behind like a fake profile pic and then try to ruin someone.
Yeah. Put them down.
Put them down
Yeah.
or even try to cost them a job, which, we're not going to bring up. But we all know what happened
Yeah.
recently. And, it is what it is, but for you to go out your way when it's, A, not your job to do that
Yeah.
and just try to ruin someone because you get off on it and then that person, A, can't find you to respond
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
B, confront you on it. I
Yeah.
don't get it. I wasn't raised like that. You had a problem with somebody, you went face-to-face with them or you talked to them about it. It all depends what it was. And if you had to go violent, you went violent. If you talked it out and settled it, then you settled. I don't get it. I don't get how being a coward nowadays is cool. And I don't know. You need the internet to blow up.
And here's the thing, too. If you respond, you're the bad guy for responding to hate.
Oh, yeah. If I
So-
respond, it's kind of like what Jay-Z said, man. If you shoot me, you're famous. If I shoot you,
Yeah.
he's the idiot. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's
But
dumb.
the internet is great for some things. I mean, we have a presidential candidate called D's Nuts.
Yeah. I'm gonna vote.
So, I
I'm
mean-
gonna vote for the first time.
Yeah, you got to
in a
vote
couple
for
years,
D's Nuts. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, D's nuts, man. Yeah, the internet really helped.
Yeah.
America, beautiful.
But so
Love it or leave it, folks.
at 33, you've been doing this already for 13, 14 years. is there still at this point a goal in your mind? Are you just loving the independent circuit? It's providing you enough of a living.
Not enough. It's not enough. I know where you're going with this.
What do you want to do? Are there more goals you want to do, or are you just enjoying it?
I want to go back to Japan.
Okay.
I would love to go anywhere in Japan. Doesn't matter. And just make a living off that, too. The other places, I have never been given a chance. Mm-hmm. Did I ever deserve a chance? Not early in my career. I was a big mouth, out of shape. Trying to get in better shape, but you know what I mean? I wasn't even given a shot. Nothing. Not even a joke. Yeah, bring him in. Let him have a tryout. Ha ha. Look at this fat idiot. And nothing.
Yeah.
My ego will not allow me to say that I wouldn't kill it if I had a chance.
Right.
I'm happy for my friends. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I'm also professionally jealous, and I also believe I'm better than them. And it's just that's the competitive stuff in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I just think there are no true heels, I guess, so to speak, because you watch television anymore.
Maybe you're not allowed to.
I guess, but you do a great job of doing it to the point where you can be a heel and it still doesn't cross that line.
I like crossing lines.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So you got to be PC nowadays.
But you do a good job of being right up to the line and not being like hopping over it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're capable of it.
I learned that from guys like Tracy Smothers and Mitch Ryder and guys I was able to, when I first broke in, go down, south and the Midwest early in my career, and I would see them just get reactions and stuff like that. So I was lucky for that, but I understand how things are nowadays. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but I do. It's just how it is nowadays.
Yeah.
So if people want PG, you got to be PG.
Yeah, and it's PC. You can't say certain things now, even though you're trying to get heat. You're playing a character. You still can't say certain things to get a reaction.
And he's not playing a character.
Yeah, a part of me, part of me turned up 1,000 hours. That part is dead. Thank God.
Is there someone that you worked with that made you into maybe a different persona, like Eddie Kingston, where the anger came out, it's hard to work with, or someone that someone that you
I'm not going to bury people. You guys
get
want me to
along
bury
with.
people?
No, we're not looking to bury anybody.
Chris Hero
is
one of them. He's a piece of shit. Claudio's another one. Good for him. He got signed. Great job. I hope your push stops. Yeah, there's probably the main two.
Yeah.
I'm not burying this. This is my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have somebody that you loved working with? Or even now?
Funny thing, Chris Hero. Because he is a piece of shit and we just beat each other up.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. Champa. I had a blast with him recently. Mike Quackenbush, my trainer, was fun.
Yeah.
It's fun also just to hit him a couple times and be like, that's for that day of training X amount of years ago. I don't know, Samoa Joe years ago, and then recently at AAW, Josh Alexander, Ethan Page, I love getting in there with, you know what I mean? And there's countless guys. I always have fun when I step in the ring because either you hit me real hard, I hit you back real hard, or we have fun. It all depends.
Is there, you're a well-traveled guy. Is there somebody that you've kind of been noticing, you've been watching, somebody that you'd like to work with? Or maybe somebody you never have that is on television, doesn't matter.
I don't watch a lot, not because I'm trying to be like, oh, I'm a jaded fan. No, I just don't. I rather watch All Japan 90s stuff and the New Japan stuff and Muda and Chono from when they were in New Japan. Like, I love that stuff. Or I'll go back and watch NWA stuff, and or I'll watch old WWF stuff like Bret Hart.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I grew up on. Like Bret Hart to me was he was a legit badass shooter, you know, when I was younger. But, of course, you're in this business. You want to be at the top place. The top place is WWE. So, of course, you want to work with guys like Seth Rollins, John Cena. You know what I mean? You want to make money.
Yeah.
Of course. But being realistic, I just want to go back to Japan. You know what I mean? Oh, we're going to wrap it up now. I gave him a look. Folks, I wish you could see this.
Final question.
We're going to get you into a match.
We're talking to you before your match.
Don't mind. I'm going to beat the shit out of Josh. He talks a lot of shit, too.
All right, final question.
Stupid teacher.
You're facing Frankie Flynn next month here at AIW.
Yeah.
Oh, that can't be your
If you go back and I'll let you know. Go ahead. Finish this
now,
question there.
I was going to go more the route of what would you tell? He's a trainee here at AIW. What would you tell a person trying to get into wrestling?
Don't.
Okay.
No, I would tell them get ready to do a lot of cardio. So before you even step into a school, get your cardio up. You're a brand. I wish someone would have told me that earlier. You're a brand.
Yeah.
So get yourself in the best shape possible, which I'm trying to do now. Kind of late, but doing what I got to do. You're the brand. So get yourself the best looking you can get yourself and be professional. Don't be a loudmouth like me telling promoters, fuck you, fuck off, suck my dick, this and that, third. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not, you know what I mean? I know what my faults were, and I would tell them to do everything opposite of me.
Yeah.
You know, don't do it too late like I did.
But you're still successful. I mean, you had
I'm not where I
not
would
where
never believe that because I'm not where I want to be. If I don't go where I want to be, I will. When I'm done with this, I would think of myself as a failure. But I will move on into something else. And you're looking around. Who's behind me?
Nobody.
I'm going to ask you if you can do a promo right now on Frankie Flynn. What would you say?
Chuck your chin and tighten up your jaw. And don't. And if you've seen the match with me and Tim Donson in Connecticut when he first stepped in, think about it. Just think about it. Time to pay dues, brother.
Eddie Kingston.
Well, that's me.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I had a blast, man.
Really appreciate it. Love to have you on again, man.
Glenn Moore at Glenn Moore. And Steve Guy at The Steve Guy, folks.
That's right.
And I'm on something on Twitter. I forgot the handle.
Matt Stone 81 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Duke, talk.
We're up, so we got to get going.
Yeah, we're on deck. Gorilla position. Peace, guys.
Later. Eddie Kingston, great guest here on This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. Love to have him back down the road.
Yeah, real soon, I hope.
Yeah, he'll be at AIW this in a couple of weeks. AIWrestling.com's website if you're in the Cleveland area. Coming out and enjoy absolute intense wrestling. All right, getting back to our Raw Night of Champions talk. We'll do that a little bit later on. But first, we want to get to a man that is...
Big news. Not big news.
A man that is a regular on the show. He just doesn't even know it. Mr. Scott Steiner, who is in the news now because TNA has, opened up that lawsuit.
They have reopened a lawsuit with Scott Steiner from 2012. And this is odd timing, isn't it? Because TNA is doing this whole GFW invasion angle, and who's been going out on the road with GFW? Scott Steiner. I don't understand the timing of this, but basically it comes back to 2012. Scott Steiner may not have been with the company, depending on who you ask and the timing, and tweets out some things and displeasures with TNA itself, Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan. Oddly enough, too, I think it's funny that they reopen this because it's like, why does TNA care about Hulk Hogan? Currently irrelevant in the... If anybody is defaming Hulk Hogan, now's the time to do so. So probably not going to win that battle. Because somebody in the court of law is going to be like, given this evidence that has now come to light, Scott Steiner may have been accurate with what he said. No defamation found. Eric Bischoff is on WWE last night, television, and not relevant within the TNA world. And maybe it's just TNA's way of getting relevancy. I don't know.
But we have a chance because we have the man's phone number. We're going to give him a call. Let's see if he answers.
Let's see what Scotty has to say.
Let's see if he answers, because if he does, I mean, this is a perfect time to get some quotes out of the guy. So here we go.
He says he didn't say anything bad about them. But imagine that. Scott Steiner having problems with Hulk Hogan.
Calling Scott Steiner right now. This is a live phone call.
Poor Scott's not going to get to go to anybody's Hall of Fame ceremony.
This is our bit we do every week. Everybody knows this. See if he answers.
Already kicked out of WWE. Now he's going to be banned from TNA Hall of Fame.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 7.
No Scott Steiner.
All right, no Steiner this week. All right, so let's move on.
We may never know the answers.
Yeah, let's move on. We'll give him a call next week. Maybe he'll give us a call back before the show ends. Probably not going to happen. All right, let's move on back to Night of Champions, WWE.
Are you recording?
Yeah, we're live. We're live, man.
We're live.
All right, so Eddie Kingston.
I'm back.
back.
I'm back. I beat the
He's
shit
back.
out of Josh. I won clean.
We have returned.
Duke didn't help me. Nothing. I did it all on my
All
own. Didn't
clean?
low blow him or nothing.
That's not very heelish.
I'm
a good guy now.
There's bringing people back by popular demand.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get in here before Johnny Gargano was already here.
Gargano, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, he wasn't. Well, he was on months ago.
Months ago?
But he'll be coming over.
Yeah,
now.
well, no, who knows
He'll be
now?
back on.
Who
He'll be
knows
back
now?
on.
He's NXT, bro. A lot of those guys that do NXT don't answer
Yeah.
your phone calls sometimes.
Yes, just
Takes
true.
them about 6-7 months, and you go, wait a minute, you're not that busy, pal. Come on. When you text a guy who's on the road and he texts you back within an hour or two, you start, putting two to two together.
start to
Or you
figure it
text
out.
somebody, you get that read message, and they don't respond, and hours go by.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and
So
you're
guess what?
Dude,
Go
come
fuck
on, dude.
yourself,
Come on,
guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So
Come on, don't act like you don't know me.
Come on.
like I said, there's
You guys see me get drunk in a bar in Indiana and try to bite a guy's tongue. Come on. You guys know who I am.
why would
Yeah.
you bite a guy's tongue?
He was talking a lot of shit. That's what I was
But
saying. Anyway, why are we getting... Wow, we went deep into that. I'm all
Yeah.
amped up.
Yeah.
Pre-workout.
You're coming off your
Coming off
match
my
high.
pre-workout
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I
Busting
said,
up Josh's
there's
face.
back by popular demand, and then in Eddie's case, there's back by his demand.
I came in here. I said, let's do this.
Let's do
They
this.
rushed.
So is come on.
Is this the... So you're officially a two-time guest then, right?
2-time, brother.
Yeah,
So-
should we air? What do you think, Eddie? Should we air this as one episode?
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
episode, bro.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you separate it? Why?
We'll play it like you interrupt us. You
Yeah,
interrupted us.
yeah. I always interrupt you.
Yeah. Like, well, Eddie Kingston's back.
This is why.
He's back.
This is why I do Copacabana's podcast more than your guy, because you're making fun of me here. What's going on? Where's Cole?
So we like to do. We make fun of our guests.
He's
I
in the
guess.
ring.
I don't
He's
know.
in the ring.
Yeah,
Is he in the
he's
ring?
wrestling
Yeah,
right
he's in the
now.
ring.
We're missing
Oh,
that.
wow.
Oh man.
I'll get it at
Here's a question for
He's
you.
trying to win
smartworkvideo.com.
tag titles.
Here's a question. We had Tim Donst on the show.
No wonder the headset's all messed up.
And
Just like his matches.
obviously he beat cancer, dude.
Come on.
Did you do something bigger than that?
Yeah, what did you beat?
I beat living. I'm
Living.
still here. I beat death.
He,
How about
he
that?
did too.
Come on, what
And
what
okay.
we got nowadays?
Okay, my
He-
question
he
for
didn't
you.
grow
I'm
up
joking.
in the
I'm being such an asshole.
He
I'm
didn't grow
joking.
up in the Bronx with a Bronx.
Oh,
mother.
Yonkers. He didn't come to
With a-
Yonkers.
Yeah.
My question for you is, Cliff Compton, a guy that has seizures.
Someone I like. Someone
yeah.
I like, actually.
Uh,
Very
scary,
rare.
Thank
scary
God we found
situation.
someone.
Yeah, scary situation for him. Are you ever worried about that? Something happening to you to where you're paralyzed, hurt, or is that something you have to you don't worry
I
about?
can't worry about that.
Yeah.
First off, big shout out to Cliff.
Yeah.
I hope he's feeling better. I hope
Yeah.
he's doing good. You know what I mean? I like him. So anyway, unlike Don's, I'm happy Don's beat the cancer. Doesn't mean I like him though.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I don't think about that stuff because if I think about it, then I won't be able to perform.
Right.
So you can't really have a lot of fear. You just go out there, you do what you do. Pray to God if you believe in that. I do. It is what it is. If you don't, whatever. But you pray to God, you go in the ring and hope you come back okay. Hope
Yeah.
Number one, it's weird, the mental sickness we have in wrestling. Number one, you hope you entertain the fans.
Yeah.
Then, number two, you hope you and your opponent are,
Yeah.
if you like the guy or not. Okay. It's crazy.
What was your worst injury? Wrestling.
Well, the one that kept me out, I have a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Well, nagging.
The one-
Nothing crazy. You know what? There's a saying I remember in football when I used to play football. They would say, "Are you hurt or are you
Yeah.
injured?"
Are you
Right,
injured? That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I'm hurting, but
Yeah.
nothing that's gonna hurt me in the future or for my
Yeah.
next show. And
Right.
So the injury that kept me out the most is I broke my ankle at CZW Cage of Death.
Ooh.
Took a back body drop, over rotated, broke it. Thought I torn a ligament, got back up, tried to get back in the ring, broke it again.
Oh.
Got back up, started punching and punching with the throw. Another punch, broke it again.
Yeah.
Third time I broke it. I was supposed to be out 6 months. Came back in 3, like an idiot. Did 1 day of rehab. And I was like, I'm over this. I can wear my sneakers and my Timbs. I'm over this.
How long?
I'm coming back.
How long did you play football for? Is growing up or high school?
Yeah, growing up. Played Pee Wee for a little bit, and then played 3 years of high school before I got kicked out.
For what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on my video shoot. No, I stabbed somebody, and
You stabbed somebody?
yeah, it was stupid.
I don't know if you're
dumb.
playing us or you're
No,
on
I'm
for
being
real.
serious. I'm being serious,
Okay.
yeah. Not with a knife, with a pen, and
So
I
when
got
Eddie,
kicked out of school. It was a dumb thing, you know what I mean? It was just stupid. Shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Should have never been where I was to make this happen.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
yeah.
So, I did it to myself, but still, it gives me no right to do what I did. See, I grew up a little bit. Took me 33 years.
We're proud of you.
Yeah, well, someone has to be. My mother still hates me. No, I'm joking. I'm a mama's boy. My father's the one you got to watch out for, that psychopath. Sit there in his underwear all day yelling at you, and you have no idea why.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about Vietnam with you. You'd be like, what are you talking? You weren't even there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my life. in a nutshell.
I had to ask just because of the hurt and injury aspect. I mean, I remember that. When I was a freshman in high school, I'm in a game, I'm like, all right, am I hurt or I'm injured? And I played through it, and I played the rest of the year through it, and it turns out the next year I had to have shoulder surgery because I completely ripped my shoulder out many times. I just thought I was hurt. Oh, it's great. You
Look
try
at this guy.
But
Animal.
you play sports growing
Savage.
up. You play sports growing up, and your personality, you're a competitive guy.
Yes.
You get into the world of professional wrestling or sports entertainment. Spoiler alert, as we know, you go into a match, rather predetermined whether or not you're going to win or lose.
It's like, this is the way I put it like this to people. We're not entertainers in the fact of TV stars and movie stars don't do what we do to our bodies.
Right.
We are athletes, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Maybe we don't do what baseball players, football players, soccer players do. To me, professional wrestling is professional wrestling. It's on its own category.
Right.
You could spice it up and call it sports entertainment. Cool. It's that, too. But now you're talking about the predetermined and all that stuff. Well, put it to you like this. My favorite movie is, well, I have two, but we'll just talk about this one. Gladiator.
Okay.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Let's say, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, you're an idiot. Spoiler alert. Russell Crowe gets stabbed before his big fight scene. You know what I mean? The heel tries to get an advantage, stabs him, right?
Right.
Now, let's say you go into that movie. You know it's not, he didn't really get stabbed.
Sure.
But then you watch the movie, and he's not selling the stab wound. It just kills the guy at the end. The movie's over. See you later.
Yep.
How would that? It wouldn't have been a climactic thing. So let's just put it like that with wrestling. You know what I mean?
All right.
We're movies and we're athletes. But no one does what we do.
And then
That's it.
And then obviously now it's less violent, no blood. You got to be PC, so they do a little bit more of the sports entertainment down towards kids now.
That's fine.
Younger age.
Well, the TV version, yeah.
That's what got me into it, was being a kid. Hulk Hogan and all those dudes, you know what I mean? Being a kid.
Yeah.
I understand that, but there was also me growing up. I had another option. If I didn't like WWF, if I did not like the kiddie atmosphere as a kid,
I just want you to behold the sight over your right shoulder right now.
yeah, Dick Justice getting naked.
Yeah.
I can get lost in that for days. So anyway, pause. But there were other options.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, NWA to me was real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen Flair and Dusty and Tully and
Oh,
Magnum
man,
bleed
yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
So I sat there and said, oh, no, this is what I want to watch. Nowadays, I don't think there's another option.
No, there isn't.
I try to
Not
watch.
really.
Like I told you,
Try to watch
I
TNA, but
really don't watch anything. It has nothing to do with anybody. I just don't watch.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd rather watch my old stuff
Right.
and maybe try to pick something up that, you know what I mean? When I watch, I try to study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's no other options. There could be. People have had opportunities, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just saying this because I have the feeling of if you don't use me, then your promotion sucks. Again, the ego that I have says that. But
if only TNA would have had Eddie Kingston, they probably would not be back and forth
let me
with
tell
television.
You, who knows? I have my own opinions on that. I'm going to be quiet. The email's going to get sent out to me. You know what I mean? My ladies, I can't say nothing. I can say a lot of shit. But anyway, about everybody. But like I said, maybe because I work there, but House of Hardcore, I believe, can take over at any point in time they want. AIW, imagine.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
different
great.
here. AAW is different. Chikara is different than everything and everybody. You want to talk about ice cream like WWE or TNA or vanilla.
Yeah.
You have Chikara, which is like strawberry, chocolate, vanilla mixed together. You know, you
Yeah.
have different things. Yeah, I just think wrestling needs competition's good. Wrestling needs another thing. Like you look at the Attitude Era. The only reason why that honestly popped up was because Vince, in my opinion, again, I don't know him. I wasn't there. I was a kid, teenager watching. Vince said, "Oh my God, all the kids that grew up watching Hogan and loving Hogan are now grown up, are teenagers.
Yeah.
They don't want Doink
Right.
and whatever, you know." So ECW, I remember when I watched ECW, I was 14 years old. All I cared about was fighting and women, and there it was at ECW.
Yeah.
Then you had WCW, NWO. They were cool. You know what I mean? You wanted to be around the cool dudes. There you go. And Vince saw the competition and said, "You know what? I know I can do better than them at what they're doing." Took it and ran with it. Now we have what we have today.
Do you think there'll ever be back to the glory days of that?
Yeah. Everything in life, not just, I heard this about wrestling, that it goes in cycles. my opinion, everything in life goes in cycles.
Yeah, so you think it'll come back around to where we get a little more
economy gets better.
risque?
Everything in general.
Hey, gas is falling under $2 here in Ohio.
Let's do it.
That's
You
all
know
I'm-
what I mean?
You know,
But,
that's all I'm saying.
everything in life goes in cycles.
Yeah.
So.
Is your competitive spirit satisfied through wrestling, and how so, if it is?
Oh, it's not. I don't think I'll ever be. I think that's my problem. I'm gonna die unsatisfied. Doesn't matter what I do, because there's gonna be something I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't really matter. So after I'm done with wrestling, let's say I want to do something backstage. Maybe I want to run my own promotion. Maybe I want to. Actually, no, I don't want to book. Because I'm that type of egomaniac that whatever
You'd be
I
the
booked-
champion and everything. You'd be,
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah.
you'd be like Triple H.
Eddie would be
all the
58 years
champions.
old and be like, yeah, I can still
58,
be
yeah.
champ. I can be
Yeah,
champ.
I can do this.
Yeah.
No, when I meant about the booking is that like I would be like, no, my idea is better. I don't care what you
Yeah.
So I can't do that. But anything, you know what I mean? Like maybe say, maybe not. You know, maybe I want to have a wife and kids one day. Probably. I'm 33.
Start your own school.
No, I don't think kids want that. maybe.
You train the Frankie Flynns of the world.
Frankie Flynn don't want none. But no, maybe I'll do that. You know, or maybe hopefully for me, honestly, maybe I'll become a fan again.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm not watching like I
Right,
used to.
right.
Maybe I'll become a fan again. You know, you got guys I know and guys who I consider cool. Again, very rare, very handful of guys. And they're on TV, man. I'm proud as shit to see them
Yeah.
on TV. I professionally jealous. Ego hurts a little.
Yeah.
But I did that to myself. You know what I mean, with the decisions I made.
If you're not jealous, you're not.
You're not competitive. This is
Right.
more of my competitive nature with them.
Right.
But I also believe that I'm also just happy for them on a personal level because I know them. I know their families, and I'm happy they're getting fed. You know.
If we could go away from wrestling for a
Yeah,
minute,
okay.
since we're sitting here in two sports
hijack.
seasons currently happening right now.
Okay.
You're sitting across from two Cleveland guys.
God bless you.
First, gotta ask, Jets or Giants?
Giants.
All right,
Yankees
so
and Mets. Yankees.
I'm not gonna worry about who you have this weekend then between
No.
Browns Jets.
First off,
That's
you got to
okay.
worry though.
You
The
can
Jets have a good offensive line,
well,
and
sure.
if Ivory is he healthy? Chris
Yeah,
Ivory.
I don't know. Has he been healthy? in
My
the
thing
last
is he
5
has a
years?
very good offensive line, and he's a
does.
banger. If he's even a little healthy, you guys are gonna have trouble.
Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker. It's pretty solid.
I don't like Eric Decker.
No.
No. I think Eric Decker my opinion, needed Peyton Manning
What
to
is-
make him.
What's your opinion on what happened? We got Geno Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my thing.
Chin checked on that.
We're all grown men.
Yeah.
Or they act like they are, right? Aren't
Yeah.
we men
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
If a grown man comes in my face and disrespects me, I don't care if I owe you money or not. You're going to get your money, trust me. But if you get in my face in front of people and try to embarrass me publicly in front of people, I'll chin check you.
Yeah.
I'll try to break your jaw and do a lot. He's lucky it wasn't me. I would have went for the eyes. I mean, I'm not an MMA guy, bro. God bless all these dudes that do
Yeah.
the MMA. I remember one time I got into a fight with a guy at a bar. They're like, Eddie, he knows mixed, whatever the hell he knows.
Yeah, who cares?
I said, that's fine. He puts me in a leg lock or so, or puts me in a triangle choke. I'm biting his thigh.
Yeah.
I'm getting out.
Yeah, look,
You can't work out your eyes. Your eyes can't put me in an arm bar.
Anything goes.
I'm not a big guy, but if somebody's disrespecting me or somebody I'm with, and
Yeah.
they're like, "What do you? That guy's huge." Well, I bet it hurts when they kick him in the nuts.
Nuts.
Who cares?
Yeah, street fight, brother. Ain't no rules.
Listen, if
Ain't
the
no
Undertaker
rules.
can go with a low blow on Brock Lesnar, I
yeah,
can go
I
with a
forgot
low
about
blow.
that.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think that's the last thing I saw.
Yeah?
Was SummerSlam, yeah.
Who's catching the Yankees in the wild card?
Yankees will be fine in the wild card. They got the
Well,
Rangers
they got
right
the first
there.
game. Yeah.
They got the Rangers right there.
They're going to win the one-game playoff.
I would love them to. I don't know. What Yankee team will we get? Will we get the Yankee team that blows the team out? Will we get a Yankee team that gets blown out? Or will we get a Yankee team that wins a close game?
Yeah.
Comes back. We don't know. They're up and down. They're inconsistent. That's the way I look at it. I don't like CC pitching anymore. God bless him. Thank you, CC, for all the years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to go. Come on. You got to go.
it's about that time.
It's about that time, brother. You'll get yourself a little plaque or something. Hey, thanks a lot, CC.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, brother. Peace.
Do you miss George Steinbrenner being a kid
Yeah.
growing up as a Yankee fan?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was.
You know-
I loved him. Everyone, I remember people hating him, but I loved him just because he was. Was he from New York?
Oh,
Did
no.
he grow up?
He's from-
no.
He's from here, buddy.
Yeah.
He's
a
from here,
Cleveland
right?
boy. He
But
wanted
he
to buy
had-
the Indians, and they
he
told him
had
no.
that stupid move, Cleveland. He had one of many. But no, he had that New York attitude.
Yeah.
He was like the Eddie Kingston of baseball owners.
Wow. That's
How
probably
about
the biggest
that? How
compliment
about
I ever
that?
got.
How about that?
Oh, yeah, but
Or
it was
maybe
win
you're
or
like,
nothing.
Maybe you're the George Steinbrenner of
You're the boss.
I don't know.
Here's my thing with also now people always say that the Yankees bought their championships. Let me tell you something.
Oh, boy.
If you had no, honestly, I'm not
Okay.
being a
All right.
dickhead Yankee fan because there's many.
Oh, man.
There's
Sure.
many.
Many.
One point in time in my life, I didn't want to be a Yankee fan. After they started winning,
Yeah.
because I remember I was born in '81. I think the first game I remember going to a Yankee Stadium was like '86, '87. So I was
Yeah.
about 6 or 7 years old.
All right.
No one was there. It was empty. I remember going to games in the '90s before they won in the '90s. Empty.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they win. Here we go. Here comes these dickheads out of the woodwork.
Bandwagon fans.
Obnoxious
Yeah.
as hell.
Oh,
Yeah.
obnoxious. Oh, they're not. And then when they didn't win for, 9, 10 years? When they didn't win
Yeah.
the World Series. And I'm like, shut up. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. I went through the 80s. Stop.
Also-
Poor Donnie Baseball couldn't get a win. Come on. Hard luck Donnie, I call him. Watch him retire from the Dodgers, and the Dodgers win the World Series the next year.
Yep.
God bless him, though.
How bad did you want to? Would you ever challenge Pedro Martinez to a match just for the sake of Don Zimmerman?
Oh, yeah. Well, look, I have a list. I call it the Reggie. You keep looking. Are we running out of time here?
No, I'm
That's
good.
right. I'm going to talk forever.
I'm
Fuck
making
this.
sure the levels are good.
All right, here we go. This is awesome Eddie's wrestling show. All right.
Hijacked.
I got a thing called the Reggie Miller list.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right?
All right.
And
all
it's a
right.
list of guys who I don't care where they are or how much bodyguards they have. I'm fighting them.
All right.
I'm going to go after them.
Okay.
Number 1 on top of the Reggie Miller list
Reggie
is,
Miller?
of course, Reggie Miller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, Pedro Martinez. And number 3, Drake. The
Drake?
worst rapper
Drake.
I've ever heard in my life. Let me tell you something, though. He did beat Meek Mill, so I don't know what that makes Meek Mill now. That hurt me.
Yeah.
That hurt me. I like Meek Mill, too. But
Is that your boy?
he's a Philly dude. He's a Philly dude. He can rap his ass off, and then he got played out by Drake. And I think Drake sucks, so what does that make Meek? Meek. He let Philadelphia down, dog.
How do you feel about this Fetty Wap?
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I miss New York rap. There ain't no good New York rap out right now, really.
Really isn't any good rap at all.
What would good New York rap be?
Lloyd Banks.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Do you consider?
Wu-Tang, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's New York. Ghostface Killer is the quintessential
Yeah.
New York rapper, you know?
Where
So-
do you put 50 Cent? Because he's a New York boy.
But he has
But-
that southern drawl.
Yeah,
So when he raps?
and of course worked with Dre over on West Coast.
Mhm.
And
Well, Dre's
I mean-
Dre, whatever. By the way, I did not like Straight Outta Compton.
Why?
I did not like it because
I haven't seen it.
They,
You didn't like it?
I'm just letting you know now. No spoilers. They just missed a lot of stuff.
Oh, man.
Painted them to be heroes, but look,
Yeah.
come on.
Yep.
Come
no
on,
one's
come
a
on,
hero.
Dre. Come on, Dre.
Yeah,
All that
no,
little
no one's a hero.
beating
By the way,
ladies.
Ice Cube was my favorite. Ice Cube and Tupac were 2 of my favorites growing up.
No Vaseline is.
So you did not buy
amazing.
into the East Coast, West Coast.
No. I was such a Tupac fan. I tell everyone the 2 people that fucked up my childhood in my life, basically, were Tupac and Tommy Dreamer.
Why?
Got Dreamer, I saw him in I was done with wrestling. Saw ECW. Saw all these characters. Saw Dreamers from Yonkers around my way. I fell back in love with wrestling. Tupac because I wanted to be him. You know, I just thought he was the greatest thing in the world, man.
Yeah.
And, to me, he's the greatest rapper of all time because he was deeper than what
Very
you think.
poetic.
Yes, and he was deeper, and for me, he stood for something. I don't know what. He died so young, and he knew it too. I bet you he knew it. That's why
Yeah.
he came out with so much stuff.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite album of all time is like tied between the Machiavelli album and All Eyes on Me. Someone's behind me.
Glenn's just watching Frankie Flynn
Frankie
go
Flynn
get
is
ready for his
watching.
Oh
match.
God!
He's got his new
With his
mask on.
silly-
He's got a
silly-
cape.
That's your next opponent here, AEW.
Yeah, I'm gonna
man.
make that cape red. It's white. Is it white?
It's white.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it red
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
his blood.
His trunks are red.
Yeah, you're.
Is this me making
That's
all
you.
this
That's
staticky
you.
noise?
Yeah, that's you.
Well, too bad. If you guys listen to
the
Stone
beard.
Cold's podcast, and I love him, I think it's awesome. It's probably the best. Oh, I'm messing up.
Hey,
here.
what do you
you,
mean it's
dude.
the best? You just keep pulling the mic out there?
It's Steve's mic.
What
Oh,
am I
that's
doing?
Steve's mic?
Are you pulling my mic out, Eddie?
No,
Hold on.
protect your mic.
Well, I mean, we're on opposite sides of the table.
Okay, it's not.
Here we. Oh, good. He's off.
Yeah.
Am I on?
It's Steve's mic.
Is it yours?
It's Glenn's mic. There's no static happening?
Folks, we're leaving this in.
We don't.
You better not edit
Give it the play-by-play, Eddie. Tell us
He's
what's
pulling
going
Check.
on.
plugs out, putting plugs
And
in.
now we're good, right?
Check. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
It was definitely. Don't give me that dirty look. I
Well,
didn't do
ever
it.
since you hijacked, dude,
Glenmore,
show off the
Glenmore's
ring.
about to get
Bananas.
slapped
There is-
across the face. This is not how a Cabana podcast
I'm
would
getting
go.
a
I guess.
dirty
Is that what
look
you're saying?
from some broad who thinks she looks like Demi Lovato. Anyway,
Be Heidi
I'm outta here.
Lovelace,
She's coming over.
folks.
I'm out of
Oh,
here,
boy.
folks.
Oh,
I'm out of here.
Oh, boy.
Eddie Kingston's a douchebag.
Oh, boy.
You're the worst.
You just don't know what's going to happen when we have Eddie Kingston on a live mic.
I mean, I said that we'd have him back real soon.
Yeah, literally. Same show. But great stuff with Eddie Kingston, and we'll have to have him back soon.
We might have to have a sit-down with Eddie Kingston and Frankie Flynn after that fresh meat match.
So great stuff from Eddie Kingston, and thanks to AW for letting us come out and do some interviews. Last week, Tim Donst was our guest, and go to iTunes and subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our feed. This is Awesome Wrestling Show, and you can get all the updates from our show, get alerted when our podcast is posted. And you can scroll through and see our guest. All our shows are labeled by the guests that we had on that week. So you can scroll through and see Kevin Owens, Sasha Banks, Seth Rollins, EC3, Jerry the King Lawler, a lot of high-profile wrestlers, along with guys like Johnny Gargano, other indie wrestlers that we've had on. Cedric Alexander has been on our show. He's a main staple in Ring of Honor. So check it out. Be sure that we also have some girls on there too. Taylor Hendricks from TNA.
Yeah, Mary Dobson,
Yeah,
who
great.
was just on NXT.
Yeah, she
as
wrestled.
Sarah Dobson.
She wrestled the
Bailey.
Bailey, the NXT Women's Champion, main event of an NXT show.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, so she was on there. So you have her. So a lot of great interviews on our iTunes feed. So go over there, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a rating. Helps us in our rankings on iTunes. And looking forward to giving out more interviews and shows when AIW comes around in a couple of weeks. All right, back to Night of Champions. We had the return of Kane, masked Kane.
There are only two things that can make. There are many things that can break a pay-per-view at WWE for the co-hosts on this show. Only two things can make overall a pay-per-view, and yours was made automatically. Best show of the year for you already.
It was great.
Masked Kane returns.
I was hoping it would be like the old school looking Kane, but I'm happy with
I still
masked Kane.
I'm not happy with the red stitching part. But,
Yeah,
right.
But hey, it's Kane coming back as a big red monster and spoiling Sheamus, and then giving a tombstone to Seth was great. And then on Raw, this whole sport personality angle, I think, is glorious and terrific. It's new. It's
Well, if you're a big TNA fan, it's not so new.
well,
If you watch them both, but again,
Everything's been done in wrestling.
how many people really pay attention to the Abyss / Joe Park doing that? I don't know.
I
But
didn't-
you're right.
I didn't
Everything's
know.
been done in
Yeah.
wrestling.
But you have Kane. I don't know what's scarier, Kane in a mask or Kane acting all nice and smiley. I don't know what's scarier because you see a big guy, Glenn Jacobs.
Being a weirdo.
It's really kind of creepy.
No problem, Stephanie. I'll make sure to let him know. He's very hand gestury and
Yeah.
everything.
I mean, Glenn Jacobs is really an insurance agent in Tennessee and Knoxville. So people out there in Knoxville, Glenn's your insurance agent. So I'm sure he's really animated.
Really
when he's
busting
selling
out the
insurance.
salesmanship.
Oh,
then.
you need
Yeah,
auto
absolutely.
insurance? You want to get some life insurance, huh?
He's gonna make for a great.
Or he goes, "Do you want to get some life insurance?"
He's gonna have great commercials one day.
Yeah. But great. I think it's fresh, it's new, and I like how Kane comes on as Corporate Kane, and then he's acting all nice, and he gets really mean, and then Kane comes out. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. I love it.
We've always known that he's had a personality, though. When you think about it, right? Going back to, it's funny the progression of Kane because he couldn't talk for the longest time, and then he had that voice box.
Sake.
Exactly. And then remember the backstage, it's Hulk Hogan and The Rock are getting ready to team up, and then Kane comes back and he talks about what they're gonna do, brother. And it's like all the Canaanites, and The Rock just made that face, Canaanites to the camera. So, and then to go with Team Hell No with Daniel Bryan, which I thought was just fun comedic stuff there. So he's always had the personality. I don't know why I'd be so surprised that he's good at this.
As a longtime fan of Kane and a guy, me loving the old school Kane, I'm not really a fan of him talking a lot or the whole personality because he is a monster to me. I wasn't a fan of Team Hell No and the whole therapy stuff. I didn't find that.
He sets the trash can on fire? Come on. That's good stuff.
I mean, okay, yeah, that was cool, but like the whole concept of that, Corporate Kane just doesn't do it for me. It's not Kane. It's not the Kane that I grew up watching. But I know you had to reinvent yourself. I get it. But this whole Jekyll and Hyde thing I think is great because it kind of takes, from the old school Kane, the quiet monster, to now mixing in his corporate side, and I think it's absolutely terrific. And I'm wondering if
does Kane get one more title run?
No, he doesn't.
Title shot, maybe.
Yeah, I mean they're having. I mean, Kane and Seth Rollins' program is just it's a placeholder to get to, the Rumble. I mean, we have Survivor Series coming up in October. November's
Survivor Series.
Okay, so what's October next?
That's
Hell in a Cell. So,
which, spoiler alert, very subtle note during the
if you blink,
Night
you
of
miss
Champions
it.
broadcast, we'll see the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, you're gonna have them going off in Hell in a Cell, and then you're gonna have Pike, Kane, and Seth Rollins go for the title. But it's just a placeholder for Hell in a Cell, and then Survivor Series. You might have like maybe Team Rollins versus somebody else, and then December is
tables, ladders, chairs.
Yeah, and then Royal Rumble. You get to go to WrestleMania. So it's kind of a placeholder for a couple months. It's kind of like that. You get the months after WrestleMania, kind of like the leading up to SummerSlam are kind of like the iffy pay-per-views that no one really cares about. And after SummerSlam, you have like Hell in a Cell, which is a cool concept, but nobody really gets into it. So you have some pay-per-views that you're going to need. You can't do a Seth Rollins versus Sting every month. You're going to have like a Kane Rollins main event.
Still waiting here in the back pocket there of WWE is you think Triple H and Seth Rollins. But last night, did you feel like it was more likely to see Triple H go after Kane or Triple H to go after Seth Rollins? Because he gets angry at both.
Yeah, I think that I would love to see Rollins versus Triple H at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Ronda Rousey will not be at WrestleMania, I would love to see.
Why not?
Triple H versus Rollins for the title. I don't know. I don't see anybody taking the title away from Rollins before WrestleMania.
You'd be hard pressed.
Yeah,
I think it probably ends up being the winner of Royal Rumble.
Well, yeah, maybe Triple. Well, maybe.
No. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Paul to allow himself to be the winner of the Royal Rumble.
Number 30.
But come on. No.
That'd be great. Has there ever been a Royal Rumble to where when the 30th guy came out, there was nobody left in the ring?
No.
That would be great. That would be a cool booking. And number 30 is like somebody walking. They know they're going to win, and gets attacked by somebody, by a random person.
Never makes it into the ring.
Triple H comes in with his suit, and walks in the ring, and goes over the rope. He's officially in, and wins the Rumble.
Terrible.
That'd be
but
awesome.
WrestleMania, we also realize is going to be. See, now it's going to be. I guess every rumor goes out the window. Because if we're waiting that long for Triple H, Seth Rollins, does that mean you're not going to get Triple H and The Rock?
Probably not. Maybe get Rock. I would prefer Rock and Brock. WrestleMania.
I would too. That would probably be a better.
Yeah, Triple H versus Rollins would be a good match. They're both, Triple H is still in his prime, not his prime, but he's still able to wrestle a great, decent match. Mm-hmm. Rollins, they can hang with each other, and then you have Rock and.
I could see Lesnar winning the title from Rollins at Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Then facing who? Who would be an opponent to main event WrestleMania?
The Rock.
The Rock would in the Rumble?
No, The Rock. Oh, maybe. Why not?
The Rock's not going to win the Rumble.
Why not?
The Rock
has The Rock ever won the Rumble?
The Rock is where a point that he doesn't have to enter the Rumble to get a title shot.
The Rock never won the Rumble, right? Because all his WrestleMania matches with Austin were set up by Austin.
The thing is, though, The Rock doesn't need to be in the Rumble to get a title shot. Look at Brock Lesnar. He comes back, title shot. He is on the level of he can come back and demand a title shot.
Put him in there so he loses to Brock Lesnar.
No, Brock is not going to the Rumble.
It'd be so exciting.
It would be exciting, but
I'm getting pumped right now thinking about it.
But that would be too easy to predict the win. If The Rock is in the Rumble and he's not number 30, like he's winning.
Yeah.
It's just too predictable.
Maybe he comes out as number 30.
Triple H. That'd be great booking.
It would be fantastic booking.
What if you have like Heath Slater, number 30?
But then you have to have The Rock versus Triple H again. I mean, you got to have them at WrestleMania.
You have like Heath Slater or Curtis Axel, number 30, and they know they're going to WrestleMania, and the camera goes backstage, and you see him walking past gorilla position, and like nobody's in the ring, and he's waiting to come out, and then you just see Triple H attack him. And he's like, "I'm in the Rumble." And then he walks in.
I think even better booking to
rope.
keep this whole thing going, which then I don't know who takes on who gets the WrestleMania match. Maybe Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar headlines WrestleMania again, or I don't know who number 30 ends up being and winning. But if you're going to put Triple H and The Rock at it, I think great booking then is to have Paul be like, yeah, I should be in the Royal Rumble. And he makes himself like number 28 or 29 thinking, oh, he's got it, he's done it. And instead, whoever's supposed to come out next gets jumped by The Rock because The Rock once again is pissed off of Triple H throwing around his authority.
The Rock's not a heel.
And they eliminate it. No, it's not him being a heel. It's him going.
No,
it's him playing the hero role to take out the authority again. And then Triple H and The Rock just kind of eliminate each other.
Because you can't have legit. You're gonna have to.
He could knock out somebody that's a heel, or it could be Heath Slater, somebody that nobody's gonna care.
No, you don't have a face knock out Heath Slater. Heath Slater is. You don't do that. You don't.
Didn't that just happen in last year's Royal Rumble?
But The Rock is different, though.
Yeah, The Rock gets away with it.
The Rock will not do that. He doesn't have to get in the Rumble to get revenge. He can get revenge, just come back when he wants. Triple H is a heel. Triple H can do that because he's known for doing that. You got to go by the characters, dude. You can't just put a Triple H character on The Rock.
Maybe The Rock enters himself into the Royal Rumble.
Rock is not going to the Rumble.
And Triple H comes out. It's like, if you, Rocky, you're not going to be champ again.
Dude, you're just fantasy booking.
You're really right, I am.
Bad. Really bad.
You can fantasy book WWE at FanDuel.com. No.
Can you?
No.
Can you bet
maybe.
on FanDuel
maybe
wrestling?
You can. No.
No?
Can you at DraftKings?
I don't know. Anyway, anything else?
No.
I think that's it.
Wasn't completely fantasy booking.
Yeah, you were.
No. If I was fantasy booking, you know who number 30 would be?
Sasha Banks.
No.
Oh, Shane McMahon.
Yeah!
There you go. Hey, I would like that. I wouldn't mind that.
In my fantasy world, Shane McMahon comes back and puts an end to the authority.
And then he wins the title.
Not the title.
Yeah, he would. Come on, you would.
Shane would never have himself win the
If
title.
he had reigns on the booking control, you would get
He would
Shane
never
the title.
have himself win the title.
Yeah, he would.
He would just prevent other people from winning it.
Yeah.
He'd help The Rock or Brock Lesnar win it.
Are you excited for this behind-the-scenes program on WWE Network for NXT? You see the commercial for that?
Yeah, that could be neat.
Yeah. I think they're taking... I think they saw the success from E60, the NXT special for ESPN.
Yeah.
They saw the success and said, well, why don't we do something like that?
But I think there's going to be some people in there that don't really have a contract with NXT. And
they show pretty much everybody that's in NXT, like anybody they showed on the promo was from NXT. I think it's going to be like kind of like, you saw like, Adam Rose. You saw like a lot of sympathy go towards him. It's going to be behind the scenes, like, following Charlotte, following people,
I like that, but at the same time, I feel like we're too far into reality TV now with what this is supposed to be.
But this is stuff that you don't see.
Yeah, I know, but this is like total Divas-esque, and you just kayfabe is gone.
Total Divas is bullshit.
I understand that.
Total Divas is all scripted.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's peeling back behind the curtain, and
well, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
It's
simple.
It's just kayfabe is
it's
one
gone.
of the fun parts of wrestling.
Kayfabe is gone, dude.
Right? That's why we grew up loving it.
Yeah, that's why. But it's gone. You gotta. I hate it, but It's the time. I would watch it. I'm gonna watch it because I love hearing stories of
Probably watch it.
who these are. I mean, we watched Up, Up, Down, Down before the show, and you have the Miz,
And I pointed
and
out
you have
that you have Titus
Titus
O'Neil
hanging out with New Day.
the New Day.
So I mean, come on, it's
Well,
gone.
the Miz totally belongs hanging out with New Day, though.
Oh, definitely. But I'm
That
saying
actually makes sense.
you have Miz hanging out with Damian
With Damian
Sandow.
Sandow. Yeah.
In there, you have Big E hanging out with with Titus, and they're all
Right.
mixed in. So I mean, kayfabe's gone. It's gone, dude.
It is.
But
It's tragic.
This NXT special.
Shout out to Rusev and Dolph Ziggler, who do a great job trying to keep it even on social media.
Why is Ziggler wearing pants with zippers with no pockets?
I don't know. That's a question better answered by Xavier Woods, PhD. Tweet at Xavier Woods, PhD. And don't forget, hashtag TIAWS theme.
We don't have a theme that he can even do. We don't have
That's why it's an original composition on the trombone.
original composition.
He can come up with it.
It's a little bit too much work for him.
Yeah, right. He does it all the time.
If I need a
Give him
doctor, I would go to Xavier Woods, but
You can get a PhD in something that's not science, Glenn.
isn't it? Yeah,
No.
he's
It's a
What is he
doctorate.
in?
It's a doctorate degree.
what's his PhD in
I'm
then?
not sure what his PhD is in, but you can get a PhD in history. You can get a PhD in architecture.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here we go. Let's see. I thought he was he's a genius.
He is a genius.
Okay, psychology,
Mhm.
educational psychology. Okay, you're right. Sorry, man,
Well, maybe if you need a psychologist, you can go to him.
that's true. There we go. All right, the doctor is in. 5 cents.
That's right.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. Anything you want to add before we sign off, Steve? Anything? You got a book tour coming up? You have a comedy act coming up? Anything?
No, I don't have any of that coming up.
No, any free bottle service events coming up or anything?
No, stand by on that. Keep on rocking in the free world.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
sure.
Come on, we got to end the show with a bang,
hashtag
dude.
Get John Thorne Famous. Follow us on Twitter at the Steve Guy, at Glenmore CLE,
All right.
at TIA Wrestling.
Yes.
If you or someone you know would like to sponsor our show,
There you go.
hit us up on Twitter, and we'll let us know that that's what you're going after. We'll follow you back. Send a little DM for our information.
Well, send an email. Don't tweet stuff out.
Well, we
like
don't
that.
have.
Yeah,
This
we
is
do.
Awesome Wrestling
Show
email.
at thisisawesamewrestlingshow.com.
There you go.
Show at thisisawesamewrestlingshow.com. It's show, SHOW, at thisisawesamewrestlingshow.com. That's our email, and we'll get the email right away and respond to you accordingly.
We're gonna get a lot of hate mail right now.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe you want us to do a live remote at your spot. What
You
about
can hang
that?
out with us. Are we booking ourselves now? What
We
are we
are.
doing here?
We absolutely are. We'll come watch the next pay-per-view at your spot. How about that?
Website coming soon. Merch coming soon.
Yeah.
Look for that. Hopefully within the next
WWE
year.
house show in Cleveland this weekend. Anybody
Yeah.
going? You think people will go?
Yeah, I think tickets are still available. So
Also, this day in wrestling history
Nitro is in town,
in Cleveland,
and the main event.
and Vince McMahon takes his very first Stone
Yes.
Cold Stunner.
There you go. You just stole my bit, dude.
Oh, did you want to? I thought maybe you were going
I
to
wasn't
forget
doing
it.
the research for you, man.
I thought that you forgot about it,
No,
so I threw it in
I
there.
haven't even got to my ending yet. You just keep on babbling, man.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Happy birthday to Mr. Gary Barnage, a guest on the show.
Hey, all right.
So he turns a big 30, and congratulations on a great game for the Browns, beating the Titans 28-14 on Cleveland. Steve and I were both there.
Yeah, Gary didn't have any receptions.
No, but
Not
he-
this game.
No, but he
Last game.
still played well blocking. He's a blocking tight end. That's what he's known for.
He caught a couple balls that first game.
Yeah, because there's no other tight ends to throw to.
Got good hands.
It's all right. Well, Johnny only threw the ball 15 times, so.
That's true.
All right, we're getting to football talk. We'll talk to you guys next week. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. AIWrestling.com is a site for local indie wrestling here in Cleveland. We're hoping to get some guests in studio. Not going to let you know until then. And we'll have more guest interviews later this month in October. Dude, it's already October.
I know.
Oh, we forgot, dude, to even celebrate. This is episode number 50.
This is the big 5-0.
This is the big 5-0.
How did we not start the show off with that?
I know. 50.
Eddie Kingston is our special guest
Yeah,
on the
5-0.
50th episode.
I mean, the 100 is more of
It's-
a bigger deal. But
Yeah, but it's not our 50th interview, but still, it's our 50th show.
50th show, dude.
He's gonna be so pumped when we tell him that.
I know. 50th show. Started doing this show in October of last year, and
Wow. Shout out to Justin Summers for listening to every single one and tweeting about every single episode.
how about here's a question for Justin. What did Steve say at the 13-minute mark of show number 29?
Do you know? Or is that a random
Well, I can
thing?
research it very quickly.
Oh, research it. Yeah.
But I'm saying, if
I thought maybe
Justin
there was
still-
something I said offhand.
If Justin is still listening,
He
or
is.
anybody's still listening,
He is. Absolutely is.
number 13, episode number 29, 13-minute mark. What did Steve say, or what did I say?
What if it's probably an interview that I missed?
Probably Spire interview with Seth Rollins. What is episode number?
No, that was
29?
like episode 3.
What is episode number 29?
As we look.
Let's find out really quick before we wrap it up. TIAWrestling.com is the website, and is a Twitter feed. 29 was
We don't have the website yet.
Chris Sabin.
Ah, okay.
Was the interview for 29.
There's a good chance I was talking at the 13-minute mark.
All right, so yeah, anybody you want to listen to, like interview-wise, we've had DJ Z, The Miz, we have Bo Dallas, Mark Henry, Heath Slater, Tuco Scorpio, Gary Barnage, Young Bucks, we had Kurt Hawkins, Chris Sabin, Samoa Joe, Crazy Mary Dobson, Lillian Garcia, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, we had Little Guido, a.k.a. Nunzio, EC3, Nick Gage, Taylor Hendrick, Larry Zabisco, Chris Perez, Ethan Page, and we had John Thorne a few times, and Tim Dunn. So the list goes on and on when it comes to our interviews for the show. So like I said, iTunes is the place to subscribe. Leave a comment, leave a ranking for us, a rating. It helps with the rankings in iTunes. But Steve, that's it, man.
No, let me ask you something here real
okay.
quick. As
One
you
more
talk
thing?
about all the interviews,
Yeah.
this is the 50th episode. Not the
50.
Not
I'm
the 50th
50
interview.
years old. I like to kick.
Not the 50th interview, but 50th episode.
Yeah.
Still a big deal. Were you more nervous talking to Nick Gage and how intense he was like the entire time? Speaking of not breaking kayfabe, or when we were talking to Eddie, and he just nonchalantly mentions that he stabbed a guy, and then you realize he wasn't joking.
Still Nick Gage. Nick Gage. That was probably the most intense interview. Because I feel like I wanted to joke with Nick Gage, but I feel like we shouldn't have joked with him. Because I didn't know how he would take to that. It was very awkward.
Like that Eddie was just talking, and they're like, "Oh wait, you're serious?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I did that."
Young and dumb. Nick Gage. Great guy to talk to. Like off the mic.
It's super nice.
Super nice,
When we
too.
saw him the next
But he was
show,
really in
he's
character.
like, "Hey guys, how are
Yeah.
you? What's going on?" I'm like, "Hey Nick, what's up, buddy?"
Yeah, but he is definitely not like a flower puppet dog kind of guy. He's still intense even when you talk to him off
Yeah.
the mic. But he is that interview. Go back and listen to it on Nick Gage. But that was intense, dude. I didn't know what to say to the guy.
Yeah, we still don't have an update on Nick.
Still incarcerated. I think his thing is next week. Is his court date is next week. So hopefully he
We're
get
hoping
back.
it was something not too
Yeah.
terrible, and he's really still back on the up and up.
He still needs to come and wrestle Hardcore Holly.
You know it.
Just because we need an interview with Hardcore.
Yes, exactly.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. CLESound.com, TIA Wrestling on Twitter. See ya.